All right, what's up, you guys? In this video, I'm talking about the types of adaption. Adaption is exactly what we're after when we're training or working out. We want to create a stimulus, a change, right? That's why we work out. We get a stimulus, then we want our body to try to adapt to that stimulus to make us add more muscle, burn more fat, get stronger, get in shape, get more fit, the whole nine. This is all about adaption. Okay, let's get it going. Here we go. So types of adaption. There's 4. What I want to kind of tell people is that you need to be in this like sweet spot. And this is a number 2, by the way. This is a 1 and this is a 2. I want it to be a sweet spot because it has to be in order to progress. And this is where people are seeing a lot of staying the same. You know, I've worked in gyms a long time, and year after year, you see these people in the gym crushing workouts, but they remain the same. And I'll talk about this with adaption and what we're talking about here. So I want you to look at this. Here's 4 levels. We got 1, obviously it's green, it's nice. 2, this is supposed to be blue, still pretty good. Then we got 3 and 4. And baseline this is returning back to baseline. Baseline is even Steven. Not seeing any progress. Baseline. Mr. Baseline. I don't foresee change. Why don't I see change? How come I can't get fit like everyone else? Okay, let's rock and roll. All right. Let me go into this. So types of adaption. The first one is optimal adaption. This is what we're after. It says the workout gave you the perfect stimulus for change to occur in the body. Okay, your body in turn sees the most gains it possibly could. This is the most optimal outcome a training session or workout needs to be. Okay, the optimal training. You guys have been in these sessions where you know what weights you're going to lift that session. You nail those weights. And the right reps in reserve or rate of perceived exertion, whatever you're using to guide your rep gauge or your percentages if you are Olympic lifting or weight training. Okay, so you're nailed that and you feel good. You're done training and you're like, I crushed it. You know, I feel good. I could actually maybe do more, but I know I got to train tomorrow. And then you get your recovery on after and you're just recovery like a boss. Boom. This is optimal. Where are we on the chart? We here, we trained, we created a stimulus. So we went under the baseline, we're working hard, and then we recovered and we feel good. We're ready to rock and roll. Okay, let's go back. The next one is a positive adaption. Okay, your training session has a good stimulus and it's effective. Okay, positive adaptions training was just enough to create that positive adaption. So it wasn't a ton. So maybe you're not tracking, maybe you're just doing a workout. Okay, and it was enough to create an adaption, a stimulus, and you felt good. Positive feeling when done, but you know, you might have done too much or you might have done too little. There's a little leeway here, and we're going to be getting that as we get closer to baseline. Did you do too much or did you do too little? But it's a positive feeling when you're done. You're like, yeah, it was a good workout. Yeah, that's cool. All right. It wasn't as jacked up as the optimal one. We're like, man, I feel good. I hit my numbers. You're just positive. It was okay. It was good. Positive recovery, you know, might take you a day longer if you kind of push it a bit hard and you're like, man, maybe I did too much. I felt good when I was done. Or you might recover fast and be good. So see how we're getting closer to baseline and things are getting iffy, right? Okay, so let's look where positive is. You worked out, maybe it dug a bit deep, maybe it was just too easy, and you're right here. So back to baseline means, no change. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's go back in. Back to baseline. Adaption. This is where the training, as I started to talk about in positive adaption, holds 2 outcomes. The first one is the training stress was too much to recover from, thus overreaching and pushing too hard. You've all been there. Maybe you're having one of the top training sessions, again, the optimal one, and you're like, yeah, let's do more. And you do like 5 or 6 more sets. So you're at some crazy boot camp or CrossFit class and it's like, let's go to death. Let's just go. It's just insanity volume. and you ain't recovering from that. You push way too hard, okay? Or the other outcome, which is a lot of what people do too. The training stress is too little to get a positive adaptation one. That's your timid people. Oh, I'm just going to pick up the 8s. Maybe they're unsure. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they went to a crazy workout before and got so sore that they never want to work out again. Don't matter. The adaptation is not there. Thus, no progress or stimulus is made, and you just remain the same. Okay? If your grocery bag is heavier than the dumbbells you weight train with, there ain't going to be no adaptation. Okay? So, there's 2 here. The overreacher, too hard. They just go to baseline. They're so overtrained that they can't get above baseline back to optimal training again. They just go to baseline. And then the next day they're like, oh, I guess I got to go to my workout again. Right? And they just feel like dog caca. The other person's like, yeah, I could just work out. Like, I don't know, it's just a workout. It did nothing for me, right? That's someone who just doesn't know how to train or scared to train, right? Back to baseline. Back to baseline means you stay the same for life. And this is huge in our fitness industry. People are going to gyms because of their name. They go in and they get destroyed. People go to this trainer, get destroyed. People go to this kind of fake program and they just don't do it well enough to see a result, right? It's both ends of the spectrum. People love to go and train hard. I do. But if you don't recover from it, it is not an optimal, a level 1 or a positive level 2 outcome. You are going back to baseline. You aren't seeing results. You look the same and feel like garbage every day. Back to baseline. What a waste of time. Okay? We don't want to waste our time when we work out. You know what I'm saying? Okay, last one. Maladaption. Maladaption also holds 2. All right, the first one, the training session was crazy hard and you were not ready for this type of training, the volume or capacity. This is like someone who's been just doing nothing and then just going balls to the wall in a workout. This is someone who just like the above explanation, but just more, just an overreacher, never recovers, always feeling under-recovered. Or the training session was so easy, you were not challenged nor had a solid workout to see any positive adaptation from this. You worked out, you know. It's like going for a walk when you're already good at walking. You're not going to get a stimulus. It's not going to cause an adaptation. You're just going to remain the same. It is nothing. So we go back into here. And 4 is down here. I mean, you work out. This is the crazy person who goes to class and they're like, yeah, never recover. Then they binge eat, right? Because their body's trying to recover so hard and they can't, and then they just start to eat bad and fall off. Or these 2 are people who work out and they just don't try hard on the workout and they go home and they continue their bad habits. Back to baseline. They're both the same. You got it? You got to be up here. Let's talk about those people that are up there. Okay, here's one. Working harder is not smarter. So adaptation 3 and 4, going all out all the time, not training, not tracking progress or your recovery, you'll bonk. You won't see progress. You'll just quit and start something else. Quit and start something else. Or program hop. I'm going to try this. Oh, you did that? I'm going to do that. Oh, you did that? I'm going to do that. It don't matter if the stimulus isn't there for you to adapt to and be just right in that friggin' sweet spot between 1 and 2. Where's my cursor? Right here, where it's just enough that it's a positive to optimal outcome. You can recover. And you know, the people who do this are the people who track. They know what they're doing when they go in. They know their exercises. They know their RPEs or their RIRs. They know. So when they come back in, they know where to go. They have a plan. They know what they did and they know what to do. Those that don't, that randomly come in, they're here. They're here. They don't. They stay the same all the time. You know, sorry if I'm pushing people's buttons here, but this is the true fact that the fitness world needs to know. It's the majority of it's down here. It's all fancy, glabber, blah, blah, blah. The people who stick with their stuff and nail it, they're up here. Okay? Let's go back. Last one. Where you want to be, 1 and 2, just like I talked about. Have a qualified coach. There's tons of great coaches out there that can make a training program for you. Bing, bing. I'm one of them. Track your training progress. How do you know if you're doing well if you don't track? It's the same with food. If you don't track your food, how are you going to get to a whole new level of body composition? Don't track your water. How do you know if you're not drinking enough water? Track it. Get on top. Get in that higher echelon. Okay? Feel good when you're done training. If you have a plan and you train and you're like, woo, I did this last week. I was only like, I felt, like it was a bit challenging, but this week I felt better. You adapted. You're feeling positive. Now, next week, look at what you did and challenge yourself again. But don't overreach. You'll know if you overreach and you're like, oh God, I am hurting, right? It's time to recover, not train, stretch, relax, get some blood flow, light workout, get back into the optimal range, you guys. This is it. This is what I try to tell people all the time. People tell me like, I'm just not hungry, or I just can't stick with something. It's because you're down here. You're down here in your workouts, in your nutrition, in your daily habits. They just keep you at baseline. It's time to get up here, people, and you can. We're here to help. Go to it, sculptedbybrent.com. Leave this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Let's start getting optimal and positive training adaption. Booyah!